Hi students, today we are going to discuss about one more important explain it or justify it or reason out questions. Okay, question. The question is G6PD deficiency related, right? You all know G6PD is the one of the important regulatory enzyme for HMP shunt pathway. If the enzyme is not available, what will happen? Sometimes G6PD deficiency leads to that is glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency leads to hemolytic anemia. Explain it, justify it like that. Actually, it is an X-linked recessive disorder, so it affects only males. The mutated gene for glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase is present in chromosome, X chromosome. So the G6P dehydrogenase is the key enzyme for the synthesis of NADPH in HMP shunt pathway, we all very well know, which is used for all the biosynthetic reactions like cholesterol synthesis, fatty acid synthesis, nucleotide synthesis, steroid hormone synthesis like that. Whereas NADH is totally different. That is actually produced from all the catabolic reactions and finally go for the oxidation and enters into the TCA cycle for the production of ATP. Right? NADPH is entirely different, which is synthesized from HMP shunt pathway. Right? Now, this G6PD, that is glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency, defect, that is it affects all the cells in our body. The problem is very important affected organ is RBC because it is wholly dependent on NADPH through HMP shunt pathway only, right? So because of the decreased NADPH in HMP shunt, they will go for decreased glutathione, that is GSH, reduced glutathione. Keep it in your mind. G6PD deficiency means decreased HMP, decreased G6PD deficiency, decreased reduced glutathione. Why we want to have reduced glutathione? Actually, this reduced glutathione is a potent antioxidant. You know the meaning of antioxidant, scavenging reaction. It removes all the free radicals produced in our body by reactive oxygen species, right? Which damages the cell membrane, especially the RBC membrane, and they will go for hemolysis or hemolytic anemia. That is why we need reduced glutathione for the membrane integrity. So, the membrane integrity of RBC membrane is reduced or damaged, that leads to hemolysis. Finally, the patient will go for hemolytic anemia. The other complications are renal failure, neonatal jaundice, and gallstones. This is for G6PD deficiency. Other manifestations are complications. Okay, another important point for this G6PD is the persons affected by G6PD deficiency are protected by malaria. That means for malaria, falciparum malaria or plasmodium malaria, the G6PD deficiency patients are usually not getting the malaria because the malarial parasite is dependent on the HMP shunt pathway, that is reduced glutathione. If there is reduced glutathione in RBC, means the malarial parasite is not able to survive within the RBCs, there is no chance for malaria, right? So the enzyme defect offers resistance to the Plasmodium falciparum infection, that is reduced glutathione is not adequately available. So the patients with G6PD, that is glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase patients, go for the hemolytic anemia and jaundice. This is the last point for G6PD, glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency. Okay.